say that I'm very blessed to be a part of this church. We have a family. We're so blessed to have everything that we have. My family's been through a lot, and the church has always been a force for helping us to get through everything we've been through. But I'm a Comanche. I came to Dallas on the relocation program with my family when I was 9 years old. The relocation program was supposed to bring Indians to the city to intermingle with other races. A lot of people saw it as a form of genocide for our people, that we would intermingle and we would forget our tradition. They brought us to areas away from other Indians and for us to forget our ways and traditions. I heard an author say we came to these cities and found a new way of life, but we did not disappear, but found others like us, and we continue to thrive. It is so true. Our church is a beacon for people. When Indian people need help within our community, they come here to us, and we're here to help them. We're here to help everybody and accept everybody for what they are. And the one thing that I want to relay to everybody is tell your children about your life. Tell them our history. Tell them where you came from. Tell them what it was like. My son is real nosy about my history, so he always asks questions. He asked me, he said, "How are you connected to Gene No Hubby?" I said, "When I came to Dallas, everybody played softball." I said, "I met Jean. I was around her when she had her children." I said, "There's so many people that I'm connected to in this city, and they're not just my tribe." So when around here, when they say intertribal, they mean all of us, not just one particular tribe. And the pastor, of course, reminded me that I'm a grandma. So he said, "You have information to pass on." And I just want to relay this one story. I was singing one Sunday and never knew that my sister's grandchildren were absorbing our songs and everything. So I don't know what happened. One day I got all choked up and I couldn't remember the next line. And little Leah, her granddaughter, was sitting next to me. And I couldn't remember the next line, so I stopped singing. And she kept on singing. So all this time that I never knew they were listening to everything that we were saying. But one episode is our American Indian Heritage Program. When we first started, we recorded people that talked about how they came to Dallas. And there were some people that their children didn't even know. They didn't even know how their parents came to Dallas and how we came to be here, because this is not, most of us came from Oklahoma, some came from Mississippi, all over the place. But relate to your children, your history. Tell them. It's something to be very proud of. The people that survived on the Trail of Tears, I admire so much the families that came through that. How horrible that we were treated that way. But we survived, and we're still here. So relate to your children your history and let them know about your family. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just like confessing to God. You're just telling things the way they are. I heard a young girl say, "Oh, well, my family history wasn't that great." But everybody has issues in their family. So relate to your children and tell them your history and tell them about your parents and your grandparents and tell them what it was like. You know, when we first came to Dallas, it was a very hard change because we were away from our family and everything, but we made it. We survived. And I think a lot of people that came here, they met other tribes, and that's how this church became to be. And we have to admire those people that stood up and said, "We're here, we're still here, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to help our people." And I admire them. People like Eve, you know, she was one of the people that helped start our church. And we have a fantastic history. We do, because they tried to wipe us out a long time ago, but we're still here and we're thriving. You know, our children are still here. We have children that are getting educations. We have people in Congress. We have senators. I mean, how wonderful. And it's Indian people that are standing up and taking the lead in a lot of things. And so I guess this is my 15 seconds of fame or whatever. But I just want to relate to people. Tell your children about your history. Tell them about your family. Tell them where you came from. You'd be surprised what they want to hear. They want to know these things. They want to know who they are, their elders, where they came from. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Ako. Ho doki ain't ag. On the aim bone. God's way is good. And I'm happy to see every one of you today. And so I just want to touch on something that Linda had said earlier about not being prideful. And I would love to come up here and tell you all about my Koigu family and what I've learned, but since it's Native American Heritage Month, I figured I'll just go with what I always talk about, and that is that there are thousands of tribes in the United States. Pre-1492, thousands of tribes inhabited this planet, what they call Americas, all the way from Canada to South America, as far down to, in South America, just so you know, that's Ecuador, Honduras, Puerto Rico. And so Mexico is like English. Mexico is a catch-all for many tribes and the Spanish. And that's how the Mexican forces came to be. And so one of the things I like to talk about for Native American Heritage Month is a couple of days ago was Thanksgiving. And so every day is Thanksgiving. Every day is an opportunity to be thankful for the life in which we have. And be thankful for those that have come into our life and are no longer here. Earth Day. It's not just one day out of the year. You should respect the planet every day of the year. Mother's Day. Father's Day. Veterans Day if you're a veteran. And the birth of Christ. Those aren't celebrated just in one particular day of the year or a month of the year. It's good to have that type of acknowledgement, but it's better every day when I can wake up and I can say, I'm Kiowa, I own Tada, I'm happy, And so another thing that I wanted to talk about was not living, and this is, I'm quoting, not exact, but I'm quoting talking about our ancestors. Yeah, it's really good to talk about our ancestors. They make us feel good because of their sacrifices and how we are here today and living testaments. But I read something once online that says, don't live on your ancestors' deeds. A lot of us sometimes will get caught up on that. But what it said was, go make your own deeds. Go make your own way in life. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of run some similarities, since we're talking about Native American Heritage Month, in Christianity. I won't go too far into some of the backtrackings on how Christianity was introduced through the missionaries, but what I want to share is the similarity in Native American spirituality pre-Christianity and how it's so easy to find that peace with that spirituality of somebody in a faraway land in Israel. And so three things came to my mind as I was so forcefully put on the spot by Pastor Jackson here. Just kidding, but I'm happy to be up here and share this. Three words that I want to share with you. One of those is humility. And that's putting oneself last. That's the definition of humbleness. And so then I was thinking about my ancestors and things that they would do, the way that they would live, and the things that we have been taught and are passed down in our circle. And when people say they talk about our ancestors in such a respectful and reverent way. And so I found this scripture here in Matthew 20:16. It says, "So the last shall be first and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen." Another word here is respect. Because even though many tribes, thousands of tribes, one time habited just in America, North America here, they had to find a way to get along with each other. Many didn't. Many warred up until the government stepped in and separated everybody. But many found alliances with each other, like the Comanche and the Kiowa, the Comanche and the Cheyenne, or the Comanche in Omaha. And so here's one here that says respect. It's Matthew 11:29 through 30. And this one says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, and for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And the last one here is talking about the Lord is here and the Lord is everywhere. And just to kind of quote what's been known as before Quanah Parker, it was already noted, but I mean, Quanah Parker has been quoted as saying that when the Christianity was introduced, people would go and pray. The church people would go and they would talk about Jesus. But native spirituality, they would go and talk with God, you know. And there's a difference in the mindset. So I just wanted to read this here and talking about where Jesus is everywhere. And it says here, this is come out of Psalms 139, 7 through 10. "Where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the outermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall find me, and lead me, and your right hand shall hold me." So I like to share this just because sometimes people, and especially Native American Heritage Month, get this misconception that Native people can't be spiritual and understand Christ. And so I just want to leave with a couple of things here just to kind of wrap this up. Before there was communication amongst tribes, there was sign language. And so that's how they communicated. The Poncas, the Pawnees, the Omaha tribe, the Kiowa tribe, the Lakota tribe, all the what's called plain Indian sign language. That's where it got its presence from. So I'm going to teach you a few Plains Indian sign languages here real quick, okay? All right, the first one is grape maker. All right, everybody ready? Okay, do this. All right, that's big. Large. Medicine. That's the grape maker. And the next one is thank you. Yeah, it's like this. Big, large, medicine. The next one is thank you. It's and forgive Frank's. Don't pay any attention to this one. But the next one is thank you. All right. So it's like this. Thank you. And the next one is money. That's a big one, right? Money. Just like this. Money. Because they didn't have. It's just like holding a coin. We didn't have money. We didn't have money significance back then. So when the first thing that came to a lot of people were the coins, especially the Spanish coins. The next one is question. So you have a question for somebody. It's like this. Question. And the next one is see. Oh, I see you. And if you tell somebody to sing, you just put two like this, and it's counterclockwise. Excuse me, clockwise, like this. Counterclockwise. There you go. And the next one is come. It's just like this. So for Munchkin there, right? It's just like this. That's come. All right. And the next one, most of you will like this one, coffee. You just hold your hand like it's basically like a grinder, right? That's what they would do. Grinder. And then the next one, it's this is a universal, right? So you see somebody or they do something or it's good. This is good, right? So like this. Good. All right. Pastor. There you go. All right, so 2 more. All right, so the next one is yes. All right, so which one does? Put your hand here, like cup your finger like this, and use it like this. Just down like this. Yes, yes, yes. And then the next one's bad. Bad. Put a couple of fingers here. All right. Just toss it. Bad. Okay, so we're gonna say a prayer real quick. I'm gonna wrap it up. Got my 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. This prayer is it's basically it's giving a blessing to somebody, right? It's great maker, make your moccasins track many winters long time. Okay, that's how it's said. All right, so great maker. Great maker, big, large, medicine. Great maker, make. Okay, so like this, just chop it, chop, and it comes in like this, Yeah, yeah. Make your. So basically, I'm saying your. In this case, it's all. All is this way. Okay, all. Okay, moccasins. Moccasins just like this. 2 thumbs right here. Okay. Make your moccasins. Okay, so track. That's very easy. Track. And then back here. Mini. Okay. And then we're going to take our hands like this. Snow. Snow. Okay? Long time. It's just like this. 2 fingers just like that. Long time. Great maker, make your moccasins track many winters. Long time.
Amen.